to please remain seated at all times with their hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle as we go through reserve today. One more time, my dears, please remain seated. It's always a good idea to have your cameras out and at the ready. I will not be able to stop for every animal here, and sometimes animals do some really cute things unexpectedly, so make sure you are prepared. Putting your cameras on live mode will help you capture these moments. Now that being said, this is a very rough and rugged terrain. Hold on to all personal belongings. If anything falls out of the vehicle, just let me know and I will let the reserve wards know. And we're going to get back to you as soon as we can. Might not come back until later tonight, and it might not look the same when it comes back either. Now we do have to ask you to use your indoor voices while we're driving through. Our animals actually have really sensitive hearing, so we do have to ask you to use your indoor voices as we get along. Now, our first animal we're going to be talking about is actually going to be on our right-hand side. We will be talking about the okapi. Now, the okapi is a very shy and reclusive animal. The first one wasn't even spotted until 1901 by Western explorers. Then more recently, the first baby okapi wasn't spotted until 2016, so they're really good at blending in. Okay, we got quite a few animals. On your right, these are the greater akudus. We're going to talk about them in just a moment. We're actually going to turn our heads to the left-hand side, and we have a pair of saddle-billed storks here making a nest. The male has a brown eye, the female has a yellow eye, and the two of them like to mate for life. But if one passes away, the other one will pass away from heartache. On the hillside here on your left-hand side, that's the bongo. Bongos are nicknamed the ghost of the forest since they are so rarely seen. Both the males and the females have horns. They go about 2.5 feet long. Here comes our male stork carrying a stick for their nest. He's very proud of that singular stick. That's cute. Good job, buddy. Now we did also see the greater akudu. They were all female greater akudus. They did not have horns. The males do. The males actually have the longest horns in the antelope family. They get about 6 feet long. On your left-hand side, that is the black rhinos. Black rhino is a very territorial animal. They live all by themselves, except for mommies and babies, of course. Now they have no natural predators out here in the wilderness, but humans have poached them to near extinction. They were poached for their horns, which were thought to be medicinal in purposes. But there are no medicinal purposes whatsoever to those horns, and their numbers have decreased. There are less than 5,000 remaining in the world today. Now we're headed into a sophie. A sophie is a river against the forest edge, and lots of animals call this home. But humans are mining and destroying these lands for precious metals that go into our electronic devices. That's why it's so important for us to remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle so we can see these wild animals and their wild places for future generations. Our next animals here on the right-hand side, we're going to be talking about the pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans get their name from the blush color on their backs during mating season. They are colonial nesters, which means they nest in very large groups, about 20 to 500 in a nesting group. There's a Nile hippopotamus right there in the waterway too. We do in fact have a group of hippos here. A group of hippos is called a bloat, because they are indeed, bloated in size. Now they do spend the majority of their time under the water. Helps them stay nice and cool. They even like to sleep under the water, holding their breath for about 8 minutes before they need to come up for a breath of fresh air. So, when do they come out of the water? Well, they usually come out of the water at night to graze against the water's edge. Make sure we firmly stay seated, everyone. Please remain seated. They come out of the water at night to graze against the water's edge. And they are hungry hippos. They eat about 80 to 90 pounds of food a day. They are herbivores. That means they think all this green stuff is delicious. On your left-hand side, we are also seeing the Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are one of the largest crocodiles here in Africa. They are 16 feet and 500 pounds. Now, a group of crocodiles on land is called a bass, because they are basking in the sun. And a group of crocodiles underneath the water is called a float, because they're floating in the water. Yeah, we like group names here, so we're going to hear quite a few of them as we continue to the reserve today. Our next stop is the savannah. Here in the savannah, everything plays its part, from the plant life to the animal life. It's a very delicate ecosystem. Right here on your right-hand side, that's the baobab tree. Baobab tree is also known as the tree of life, which is the icon here at the park, is the tree of life. So it's a baobab tree. The reason why we call it the tree of life is because it holds water inside of its bark. So during seasons of no rain, animals can bite that bark and get water from it. Water equals life, so therefore it's called the tree of life. Alright kids, use the animal spotting guide that's above your head here. We're probably not going to talk about giraffes first. I actually see them in the distance, so we'll talk about that way back there. We're going to talk about these Hartman's Mountain zebras first. The Hartman's Mountain zebras like to live in a herd. A herd of zebras contain one male stallion and 2 to 3 females. So this is actually a herd here. A herd of zebras is called a dazzle. The reason why is because they'll group together and try to dazzle or confuse the predator with their stripes. If that doesn't work, they'll run the other way or they'll kick. A kick from a zebra will break a lion's jaw. Alright, our next animal is on our left-hand side. This is a very hard spot. On our left, next to the cave, on the right-hand side of the cave, they're going to be sleeping on the ground next to the waterway. There's some tall grass and some woofies up the top there. They're sleeping right there at the bottom. There's also on the side of that cave there, on the right-hand side of the cave. These are painted dogs. Painted dogs are very sociable animals. They live in a large group, about 530. Hey guys, please remain seated. Please remain seated. They live in a large group, about 5 to 30. They're led by an alpha male and an alpha female that become the primary breeders of the pack. Now they are wide range hunters and they need lots of space to hunt. Well, their space is becoming smaller due to human needs and they're a rare sight to see. On the left-hand side, we have several animals. We're going to talk about these dark brown ones here. These are the sable antelopes. Sable antelopes are unique. They will stand their ground instead of backing down and run away from a predator. Their horns are tilted towards their backs, acting as a deterrent for any animal that wants to jump on their backs. These big beauties here, these guys are called elands, not the wildebeest. Elands. Elands are the tallest antelopes on this reserve. They stand at 6 feet tall. The male eland is a hefty boy. He is 2,200 pounds, while that female eland is a dainty 600 pounds. Now we also saw wildebeest there. Wildebeest are the second most densely populated herd on planet Earth. Does anybody know what the first most densely populated herd is?
Meerkats.
Oh, some good guesses. It's humans. You said that. You're correct. There are 1.5 billion wildebeest in a herd. And a herd of wildebeest is called a confusion or implausibility. On your right-hand side, we also have the Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are also known as the Watusi cattle, for the first group of people to domesticate them. The Watusi people. Now their horns are ginormous. They grow about 5 to 6 feet long in size. But they're not heavy. There is a honeycomb structure inside them that keeps them nice and light. Our next animal here is our giraffes. We do in fact have a group of them here. A group of giraffes is called a tower. The reason why we call them a tower is because they tower over everything, being the tallest land animals. They do stand about 16 to 20 feet tall. Even their babies are tall. Baby giraffes stand at 6 feet tall when they're born. Giraffes spend 95% of their day eating. That's a lot of their time. Their tongues are prehensile. Prehensile means they can grasp at something like a hand or a finger. Their tongues are so long. They're 17 to 20 inches long. That's as long as your arm. And they use their tongues to pick their noses and to clean their eyeballs. On your right hand side, that is a little springbok there. Springboks get their name from the ability to spring forward 13 feet and then up 6 feet. And they can do it repetitiously, meaning they don't have to stop to keep on springing. They are lovingly known as the s'mores of the savannah because of their graham cracker tops, their chocolate middles, and their marshmallow bottoms. Alright, on your right is a male African elephant over here. We're going to get backside view there. We're going to talk about him in just a moment. We're actually going to turn our heads to the left and see if we can't spot ourselves the mandrill monkeys. Now, mandrill monkeys are very shy monkeys. There he is, right there. They like to live deep inside the forest in very large social groups, about 100 in their family. The male mandrill, that's the male mandrill there. He's got a very colorful face and colorful backside, and he's the largest monkey on planet Earth. He gets up to 100 pounds. He's as large as a large dog. Now that was a male African elephant we were passing there. How do we know? Did anybody know? He's by himself. That's how you know. Male elephants will leave the herd of their mothers at the age of 15. They may wander in the wilderness by themselves, like this dude here. We might see him on the right. Or they may group up into a small herd. Now, a small herd of all male elephants is called a bachelor. There he is, out there in the distance. Now, we should see some more African elephants up ahead. We know these are African elephants because they are gray in skin color, and they have big, floppy ears. So those big, floppy ears are actually a way for them to stay cool. There are blood vessels behind their ears, and every time they flop those ears, they can cool themselves down about 15 more degrees. That has a built-in ear conditioning. Look to the left. Elephants are constantly on the move for food. A singular elephant will eat about 300 pounds of food a day. It's actually the average amount of one adult human in an entire year. A lot of the food that they eat will go to waste because of their terrible digestive systems. And they create about 200 pounds of waste a day. Now this herd here, this is a herd of all females. Unlike the male that wanders away at the age of 15. Females stay in the herd they are born into their entire lives. So this herd would be grandmothers, mothers, daughters, sisters, and their children. This herd also has a name. This herd's name is called a memory. The reason why I call them memory is because they never forget their family members. So if that male elephant ever returned to the herd, they would remember him. And elephants are the second longest to reach adulthood. It takes them 15 years to fully mature into an adult, next to humans 18 and then some. But they do beat us in pregnancy. An elephant is pregnant for 22 months. That means they're pregnant for 2 years before they give birth to a baby that's 250 pounds. On the left-hand side, these are the greater flamingos. The greater flamingos are the lightest shade of pink of the flamingo family. They get their pink color from their diets of different crustaceans, such as brine shrimp. And this is indeed a group of flamingos. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyancy because of their brightly colored feathers. Now, sometimes I see more elephants on the left-hand side. Sometimes I don't. So let's look over here to the left-hand side and see if we can't spot ourselves some more elephants here. Now, elephants are being poached at a very alarming rate. Elephants are actually being poached about 100 per day. A lot of that has to do with elephant-human conflict. Elephants will go on the farmlands and eat up a farmer's crop, and a farmer has a negative consequences for the elephant. So we have discovered that elephants are actually afraid of bees. They emit a kind of rumble that lets other elephants know there's a bee in the area, and they will all turn the other way. Now, with that information, Disney has partnered with a foundation called Elephant and Bees that provide beehives to farmers to help keep elephants off their lands. It's just about coexisting with those gentle giants. On your left-hand side, let's see if we can't spot ourselves some cheetahs. I see them. It's really hard to see them. They are on the very top of the hill. They are underneath the palms up on the very top of the hill. They're laying in the shade. They look like piles of leaves laying there. That's what their camouflage makes them look like. A little bit darker, brighter than the ground.
Oh, they're at the very, very top.
It's hard to see.
Very, very top. They're very hard to see.
Now, cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They do go 0 to 60 within 3 seconds, which is as fast as the Rockin' roller coaster. Now, they are, there's a better view of them. Look up on the top there behind you.
Oh, see under there? See the cover down there?
They are built for the need for speed. They have elongated spines. They have lean muscles. They have a long tail for balance, and their claws are always out for traction. So even though they're built for the need for speed, they actually can't keep their speed up for very long. For about 200 to 300 meters, which is about 2 football fields, or 1 minute before they're exhausted. On the left-hand side, you might recognize these rocks from the great movie, The Lion King. These rocks actually have a name. They're called Okopi rocks. Okopi rocks are used as an animal hangout zone, so not just lions, but other animals as well, like our white rhinos and our ostriches on the right-hand side. Now, white rhinos are much more sociable than the black. Oh, look, it's my favorite animal. It's a water buck. That is my favorite animal. You can judge me. It's okay. Water bucks are a non-migrational antelope. They stay by a permanent water source. They drink an abnormal amount of water, and they secrete oil from their skin that makes them super smelly and waterproof. That's why they're called water bucks. We'll get to the white rhino. I'm sorry. We're going to look to the left. These are our lions here. We have a male and a female lion. The male lion has all that beautiful hair around his face and neck. That's called a mane. The mane is directly tied to his testosterone, which is the male hormone. That's why guys grow beards. We do in fact have a group of lions there. Our group of lions is called a pride. Alright, on your left-hand side, we're also seeing the warthogs.
Oh, there's Pumbaa.
Warthogs are in the same family as domesticated pigs. They're the world's largest burrowing creature. They don't just make their own burrows, they also borrow and steal them as well. On your right-hand side, going back to those white rhinos, this is a herd of mommies and babies. A herd of rhinos is called a crash. The reason why we call them a crash is because they, have terrible eyesight. They can't see more than 10 feet in front of them, and they have to heavily rely on their hearing and their smell. Like I said, this is mommy and baby rhinos here. Mommy rhinos can get pregnant every 4 to 5 years, and they're pregnant for 18 months. When that baby rhino is born, that baby rhino is about 88 pounds, and they can weigh about 8 to 9 pounds a day. Now, the white rhino is the largest rhino in Africa, weighing in at 5,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
We also have these ostriches here. What do you guys think about ostriches? You tend to think about the black and white one. The black and white one is the male ostrich. These ostriches here are gray in color. They're females. Contrary to popular belief, ostriches do not stick their heads in the sand when they're scared. No, they don't. They pretend they are a bush. That does not work. They get up and start running. An ostrich stride while running is 13 feet, and they go 40 miles an hour. They're actually the fastest two-legged animal on planet Earth. And that's pretty impressive since they weigh about 300 pounds. Then we head down into the Warden's Outpost. Here at the Warden's Outpost, we live the land. But deep rainwater in buckets for future use on our crops or animals. And we have the adorable little herd of the Nigerian dwarf goats. Now, Nigerian dwarf goats are a highly domesticated animal and can be found around the world. Farmers use them for their sweet milk that you can drink or turn into cheese or even skincare products. And they're easy on the land. They take up less land and resources than a traditional herd. Well, our safari is coming to an end. I do hope you saw your favorite animals out here. I know I did. I saw the water buck, and that makes my day. I hope seeing your favorite animal makes your day as well. Now, these animals and animals around the world, including your own backyard, are under constant threat due to habitation loss and poaching. Disney has partnered with multiple foundations around the world to help these wild animals and their wild places. You too can help by donating to the Disney Conservation Fund at any merchandise location here at Animal Kingdom. Now, all donations are matched dollar for dollar by Disney, and they do directly go to a foundation that we support. Upon donating, you may receive a Conservation Hero button. So, while you're here at Animal Kingdom, please donate today to the Disney Conservation Fund and help these wild animals and their wild places. Now, there's also a long-term way you can help by remembering to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reducing your day-to-day waste like your food waste and recycling things properly once you're done with them can help these wild animals and their wild places today. Now, we don't like to say goodbye here in Harambe, so instead we say Kwaherini. Kwaherini means to go well in Swahili. So Kwaherini, everyone. Go well and go wild while you're here in Animal Kingdom. Now, if you are a wilderness explorer, you have it on Sim Belt 1. That's right, wilderness explorers, you are on Sim Belt